So here we go. Started the camera. I've got my audio recording going. How's it going, everyone? It's Carpo here, and this video, well, let's just say I'm going to talk about myself, who I am, what am I doing here, and also who are you, and kind of a message to be yourself, if you will. It's very difficult to be yourself in this world, and when I say that, I don't take it lightly. Just, you know, be who you want to be kind of attitude, because we know that that's not always how it goes. In other words, people will say, you know, act like the person you want to be and you will become that person, and that's not always true. A lot of people just don't have the same opportunities. So telling kids you can do anything you want and be anything you want really is utter nonsense. In a lot of cases, a person can never be an astronaut. Not that they never can be, but you know, even saying that, it seems like it's like, well, how dare you say somebody couldn't be? I guess the point is just being rational and reasonable about what we think is possible. But we can excel at a lot of different things as individuals. I guess anybody who really wanted to be an astronaut could, but let's just say a person who has a lung disease or a problem where they can't breathe or they wouldn't be able to survive very well in space, you know, obviously they are limited. So there are always exceptions, and it always amazes me when a person really has their heart set on something and they can't do it, or they're unable to do it, so they're heartbroken. Truth is, I kind of envy those people because they have something amazing that moves them. But for me, I have so many different interests, but no real like long-term individual passions that I want to accomplish. And I got this fucking book sitting right here. Who are you? And I had it as a prop for a video I was going to do earlier. Discovering Your Real Identity. And it's this guy Chris Butler who wrote this book. I believe it's based on like reincarnation. But of all the books that I've read in my time, you know, and asking myself who I really am, it leads me into kind of the subject of this video, which is being yourself. Who are you? I don't know. Let's discover that. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out who I am, who you are, and share it. As cheesy as that shit sounds, you know, it's true. And it's funny because all the hippie shit I go through in my life and all the little moments I have where I'm like, wow, the universe is all one, there's still this voice in me that's like, oh, that's cheesy, it's not logical. But I'm fighting it, saying, why isn't that logical? You know, why isn't it logical to believe that we're all connected and the whole universe is one and that there may be some universal consciousness? Is it really that stupid? I don't think it is. So I suppose maybe this video will be my new introduction. You know, every year I make a new intro to my channel, and they're always different. It's funny, I have all this stuff in my face, this, you know, recorder with a little spit guard, gradually kind of building up to like this little studio thing, but when I walk in and I look at it from the other side, it's like this whole, you know, a bunch of equipment looking at me, like, what are you going to say? You know, and the more subscribers I get, the more obligated I feel to say something that's valuable, instead of just like videos where I used to be sitting on my couch totally stoned, like, yeah, man, the world's cool, whatever. You know, I've always tried to add some value to my videos onto YouTube, but there have been times when it was in vain. A lot of you might remember when my channel got shut down last year because I talked about kratom or cannabis or something like that. It scares a lot of creators away from wanting to, you know, talk about certain subjects, and but I still do it because I love y'all, and I know y'all want to hear about weed and kratom and psychedelics, but it's about doing it with tact and respect. And you know, I'm so grateful to have my whole the fan base that I have, my subscribers. You know, every year I upload a video and I say, wow, at least once a year I'm like, damn, a lot of people watch that video in like 1 hour. To me, that's like 100 people. And I know there's channels where there's 100,000 people who watch it in an hour or a day. But that's not the point to me. The point is that all the comments on my videos are positive and rational and responsive. Even people who disagree with me, which is something I love and welcome, they disagree with respect and humility. And that to me is something that I don't see a lot on YouTube. And so it's almost like my channel to me is like trying to prove that YouTube doesn't have to be a toxic platform. And so that made it all the more difficult when my channel was shut down. And it was, you know, it was down for like a month. And I thought, screw this, you know. I'm never going to do what I want to do and make videos and talk to the world and actually get anything out of it. And it's funny because I never used the YouTube, the AdSense platform where people get a commercial before their videos. I tried that for a week. And I just felt so stupid having commercials on my videos. I was like, so if I talked about cannabis on my video, next thing I know I'm going to have some legal cannabis company advertising on my video. Maybe some state-sponsored agency or some bullshit, you know. And I'm like, you know, my voice, my brain, myself, that's all I have. And I'm trying to be myself. But I'm learning who I am through this channel and through my experience in life. It's not just YouTube, of course. I'm learning who I am by embracing as much as I can in this life and learning what works and what doesn't, because I've failed a lot. And I wouldn't say I've failed in the decisions I've made. I've failed in the lack of decisiveness and the decisions I never made. And so it's funny, a lot of people, you know, I try not to, I don't judge people by what they do, as far as like, you know, if you're a go-getter and you want to go out and make a bunch of money, go for it. Because I know that in the long run, each person has their own drive, their own desire. Hopefully a person does good with that money. But for me, I've never had a desire to make a lot of money. So, you know, my Patreon account, to be honest, I have 14 patrons. And I make $122 a month off of all the videos I've made. Almost 4,000 videos. And so sometimes I step back and I think, what is my time really worth? But then I say, what is my purpose for doing it? They say if you do what you love, the money will follow. But it's different because it's a crowdfunding world now where a lot of people are willing to take the ads. And I'm just like, so I don't mean to go into the ad bullshit, but it's just a thought about, you know, who I am and what I'm willing to accept. I have kind of high standards when it comes to accepting money, and that's my own downfall, maybe because I need to pay my bills like everybody else, but it also allows me to talk about what I want to talk about. This is the coolest thing right here that I've discovered in the last, you know, couple years regarding the internet. My little voice recorder, I can record and upload that to my Patreon page in audio format on MP3 for people to download, and also put a video up. And to all y'all, that might not sound like much, but to me that's an amazing revelation. I'm not a hugely tech-savvy person, you know, I don't spend a lot of time learning about different platforms and how they work, and I'm not a Linux expert or anything, you know, I just use Windows 10 and I try to learn as much as I can about it, because but the thing is, there are so many kids out there. I envy the people out there. I wish I could partner up almost with somebody who is really good at graphics, and who, you know, there are people out there who love to do awesome design and graphics but aren't very good at speaking, and I think, well, maybe I should team up with one of those people. But it's more complicated than that. Different personality types. And that, once again, brings me back to who am I? What kind of person am I? You know, where do I fit in this world as a 43-year-old white male who lives in Vancouver, Washington, doesn't have a whole lot of friends, just a few close ones, and is really reluctant to kind of reach out on the internet and actually, you know, build something amazing. Like a lot of these, as much as people dislike millennials or in any culture, I hate to use that term because I don't believe in generations, but younger people, a lot of them have built some amazing things. Silicon Valley, you know, is kind of a cesspool as far as I'm concerned, because people are all wrapped up in what they've discovered based on everyone else's discoveries. I won't go into detail on that, but In other words, it's money that we all pay for because we're paying for this technology that is built upon other people's, hard work. It's weird because my feelings about science and the history of mankind is that everything we do is built upon the discovery of these minerals like silicon, how to identify silicon, how to extract it, how to refine it, how to put it into wafers, then how to put information on it, how to make circuit boards, how to make this all available to the public safely, and have groups that monitor and make sure that there's proper lead levels and everything else, cadmium and mercury. All of this takes a group effort, and I feel like humanity, all of us, are like one big organism that needs to learn to work together, but also there's going to be a huge sect of the population who wants to just take advantage of that and make as much money as possible to get rich, and it sucks because some people get super fucking rich by being dishonest, and doing damage to our health and the environment. But what that does, even worse than the damage that's done by the individuals who do that, is the damage that is done to the psyche of the people who start believing in every conspiracy and thinking that everybody's out to get them, and that the government hates them and is trying to poison them with fluoride and wants them dumb so they can control their minds with the HAARP radiation, through chemtrails and reflecting these beams to mind control the population into believing the earth is round because it's really flat. And I could go on and on and on. I've been down every conspiracy realm, and in the past when I talk about these things I feel like it's like, I don't know, what's the point, right? I don't believe in most of them, and I feel like even if I'm rational and I talk about, hey, this may not be what you think it is, people think that I'm in on some giant grand government conspiracy. And I bring that up to say, it's really hard to talk rationally in today's world without feeling like you're, I don't know, wading in a cesspool of bullshit stories. And the internet has just let me down. And so, at times I think, what's the point in my channel at all? What's the point in even, it's a nihilist attitude, it's bullshit, but it's like, wow, all of this is just garbage. If the power went out tomorrow, none of it would matter. But the beauty of it is, and maybe the main reason I'm saying this is because you and I know that it's the information that we gain in life that really matters, not how much entertainment we have. So if you watch a video on how to make a fire, without, without flint and steel, without a lighter, without a match, you're like, wow, I could do that, and you try it and you learn something. That's great. You can take that into your life, but so much of the information is garbage out there. And so I'd like to go on to kind of say that maybe if all of us are prepared for whatever might happen, let's say an apocalypse comes and there is no power, I've got several downloaded manuals about how to tie knots, how to, dress animals, and how to garden. And I've been gardening for years, and so I've learned. I say this because I was a prepper for a long time, and it's funny, you might not think that, but some of the earliest videos I did on YouTube were prepper videos about how to be prepared for any disaster. Build a Faraday cage. And, I deleted a lot of them, but I've got 4,000 videos at least that I've made, and probably got rid of several hundred of shitty early videos that were done at low quality. But that's all we had, and upload speeds were slower and whatnot. But I've come so far, as far as all of us, technologically, being able to share information. And, I still have these giant files of like hundreds of survival guides and things that are just invaluable in a time of disaster, and physical books as well. But ultimately I lost interest in that, and I moved on to this kind of Eastern spirituality and mysticism And I moved into this realm of, like, you know, kind of obsessing on Buddhism and Hinduism, things like that. And I thought, this is fascinating. I didn't get too pulled into it. I didn't start practicing it or anything. I just thought, wow, this is phenomenal. Alan Watts was great, Manly P. Hall. And then I got into kind of various philosophies and understanding and learning about a variety of Greek mythology in different contexts. And now here I am. You know, I made a whole bunch of videos about that kind of stuff in the past. It attracted all kinds of hate and angry people, Christians mostly, who said, you're falling into the world of Satan. You know, I mean, I've had more hate from Christians than any other sect, any other group of people, any other people who associate themselves with any group whatsoever. I haven't really received any hate except Christians. And it's not even when I talk about Christianity. It's when I talk about something that they have heard from another channel is satanic. And then they start talking about blood-sucking babies, baby killers, and it's hard to live with stupidity in this world. And I don't know what else to do, you know? You try to just kind of get along with people and do the best you can and be a nice person without, you know, look, I get it. You know, nobody wants anybody to be hurt. Nobody wants to hate God or to hate children. It's just, there's so much misunderstanding about how people think out there. And so, to kind of come full circle and say, who am I? I don't know. Because I know who I am in my heart, but I don't know how other people perceive me. I try to be the nicest person I can. I try to be accepting. I try not to be condescending. I try to be kind. I did make a video earlier, which was kind of a joke. I'll probably upload maybe either before or after this, which was about, it was a joke about some spiritual class that will save your chakras, you know, whatever. You'll see. You'll see. It's a video surrounding this one somewhere. But I like to do things for fun, but I'm totally aware while I'm doing it. I'm like, I don't want to offend anyone. But every time I do something like that, I do it for the sake of saving people from fooling themselves with somebody else's bullshit. It's only when there's money involved. When people are paying dollar amounts, X dollars for some bullshit cure that doesn't work. Snake oil, basically. And you may ask, who are you, dude, to tell people what or what not to buy? And I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I don't give a shit. I just don't like seeing people get ripped off. And I care about people. So, I don't know why, but I do. So, this is Carpo signing off. And this is my introduction video, probably for 2019 too. It's a pleasure to make videos for you all. And a pleasure to make your acquaintance to anybody new. Hit the subscribe button for anyone who doesn't know about all that great stuff, like subscribe. And I have I guess I'll sign off on the microphone here, but for YouTube and for the video I upload, if you want a full recording of it, you can go to my Patreon page, Carpo719, and download a free copy of the audio recording. So, if you have any input, please add it. If you don't, then don't. And it's been great serving you all. Namaste, my friends. Be well. Talk to you later.